Nice.
We can't put that in the video.
Yeah.
That's
Holy cow. Hey, if you're new to our channel, consider subscribing and leave a comment so you can let us know what you want to see next. Thanks for stopping by.
We are in the neighborhood, or the land, shall we say, of 034 Motorsport.
Look at how sunny it is.
I know. We happen to be on vacation in Santa Cruz, which is about an hour away from their shop, and we got an invitation to go over and see Nick and all those guys, and so we're on our way. Should be like right here.
Did we miss it?
I'm gonna turn it.
Oh, this is it right here.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a sign right there. Nice.
Oh, snap. Look at that.
Well, this is a good start. Oh yeah, got an R8. There's the S4. Some weird RS5 thing.
Weird RS5 thing. That's pretty good. Good Lord. Dude. Yeah.
At idle, it sounds pedestrian, right? Yeah, totally stock.
no check engine lights, no codes.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, that's in there.
It's in there.
That's crammed in there. Looks good though. Man.
The color on this.
It is, right? What is the color?
It's a dark red color.
Okay.
It's Audi exclusive.
Thanks.
Nick just told us he's gonna try and shoot out some flames here.
R8's not going to do anything for us.
I feel like my ass is dragging on the ground.
It's a little low. Yeah.
That's so good.
Comfortable though.
Oh my gosh. So your neighbors must know you pretty well at this point.
They're familiar.
This is my first time in an R8, so I think it's going to be a pretty spoiled experience.
It's rather solid. I mean, out the box, we were very impressed with how good these cars were,
bet,
both
yeah.
in handling and just general usability. So
Yeah.
we didn't want to ruin its daily usability. It's like a daily supercar. It's incredible how
Yeah.
well you can use
Yeah.
these things. But we wanted to really enhance and add to the experience with it.
Yeah.
So this is a 2014 Gen
Okay.
1.5, so facelift R8. with the V8 and 7-speed dual clutch.
Okay.
It's currently sitting on our entire catalog of suspension, braking, and exhaust components. Lowering springs, camber arms. We're YouTubing on YouTube.
Yeah.
Lowering springs, camber shims, front and rear sway bar kits, front and rear brake rotors with the extended 390mm front kit.
Okay.
And our divorced stainless steel exhaust system, which is valved, so we can be.
And I will be taking a video of that because the bumper is off.
Yes.
So
the bumper is off for maximum visualization.
Yeah. Nice and quiet. That's pretty cool.
Now my absolute favorite is dual clutches want to sync the RPM before it'll go, so if you get the downshift right.
Yeah. Oh man. Because you know that you can stop wherever you want to.
It's incredibly precise. You can do pretty much whatever it is that you want to do with the car. It'll let you do it.
Yeah.
We have a saying called 034 motor safety. You know, all of our products are safety products.
Yeah.
They remove you from a dangerous situation, or they prevent you from getting involved in a dangerous situation. You need to stop, you gotta stop.
Yeah.
You need to pull away from danger.
Danger prevention. Danger prevention.
Exactly. So that's what we're yeah. So I switched it over to the comfort setup for exhaust.
Oh, okay.
You can tell, I mean, we're just around.
Yeah.
It's barely there. We can talk at a nice normal volume. It's not crazy. But you hit the button.
And there it goes.
And like you said,
blast.
The brakes work.
The brakes work. The tires work. I think if I wasn't like laughing and smiling, you would have seen my cheeks just go forward.
You gotta watch out for their R8. Today I've got Sean with 034 Motorsport with me, and yeah, I finally figured out how to pronounce it. We're in.
34.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of debate about it. I don't know why, but
You know
I've been
what?
corrected both ways.
034 is correct. That is the only way you should ever pronounce it.
We're in their shop, RS5, and it's running the Stage 1 Plus E85 tune right now. And I gotta tell you, this is an amazing feeling. I think you have some other prototype suspension parts on this, or they like...
there's a little bit of prototype suspension parts on this car. When's this video coming out?
Yeah.
Then we also have a Motorsport toe link in the back, just to get a little bit less deflection out of the rear toe arm.
Okay.
And that is it on this car. Oh, new part. We have the B9 lower control arms.
Oh, cool.
Those will be out by the time you have this video out, most likely.
And that's for both the RS and the
B9 cars.
All B9 cars.
S4, S5, RS5. No SQ5 is a little different.
Right.
But our density line control arms utilize our density line bushings, so it's going to be a little bit stiffer than the factory bushing. The factory bushings are also fluid filled.
Right.
So when you fail, you'll have a little bit of fluid coming out of those bushings, but these are going to last longer, and they'll also be available on FCP Euro for that lifetime replacement.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm noticing about the way this car drives is just, first of all, we're in a coupe versus the Sportbacks that I'm used to driving in. But we got a little spicy on one of the on-ramps, and it felt like really good rear compliance. Like like the car was well balanced and predictable.
Yes. Yep.
And by the way, the tune it's fully capable of breaking loose all 4 tires. So as we get through our review video of the tune that we put on the S5 for our channel, I'm looking forward to really getting it out to the track and testing it, and maybe finding some roads that have a little bit of curve to them in Mexico. So when you guys do your development for the RS5 and a bunch of the tunes,
Yep.
we got to see your dyno. It's in the shop. It's super legit Mustang dyno. But how do you develop the drivability? Are you guys out on the track?
So the drivability, one of our calibrators will typically live with the car for, you know, a couple months and, you know, get a really good feel for the car and what, they have a good idea of what the general market is and what we try to do for our tuning. So one large thing that a lot of RS5 owners will notice once they first tune their car is going to be the pedal linearity. Yeah. So from the factory, the driver pedal is going to be, you know, you push the pedal down about 30%, you're going to get about 70% of the power. And while that may feel like have your car feel great and make your car feel fast, ultimately it's not giving you all that control of your car and what it's doing. Yeah. So you've been on track, you know, you can understand how much pedal you want to input mid corner, just to get that little bit more rotation out, and having full control of your throttles just nice. Yeah. No, that's great. And I think that's one of the things where, you know, we don't ever really, like, we do a lot of tune comparisons, but we haven't really found any tune that we disliked. It's a lot of just difference in drivability and strategies. But one of the things I noticed, having worked with a couple of tuners, which we haven't really ended up like putting their stuff on channels, because I think a lot of what they do is they go in and they mess with timing advance and boost control, and that's kind of where they leave it, right? And they don't do a whole bunch with the, you know, the actual like throttle mapping or figuring out the shift points. And as I've been driving my car a lot more, like you said, I figure out that being able to control that throttle and the inputs to the degree that you need to, especially with the higher rev range, is really important. And then how does that translate just into daily driving? The daily driving, it's a lot more control of your car. So, you know, say you need to pass them with the OEM pedal, you know, you push it down a little bit, you never know how much you're gonna get, because it's not scaled properly. But driving this car, you know, see, I need that extra 5-10% throttle. You can feel that in, you know, when you put your foot down, you can feel that little extra power come in. Right. Yeah, and sometimes you really need it, especially if you're coming out of a turn and you, like you said, you want to get that little extra rotation and stuff in there. And so do you typically hit like Willow Springs for a bunch of that testing? So a lot of our track testing is going to be at our 3 California tracks that we have in Northern California, or 4 tracks actually. So we have Thunder Hill, we have Sonoma, then of course world famous Laguna Seca. Yeah. Laguna Seca is fun. We have an event out in October. Maybe you should I might have to figure it out for that one. Yeah. And then we've got Buttonwillow, which is down south. And then just driving around the neighborhoods here. Driving around the neighborhoods, you know, a lot of dyno tuning, a lot of refinement, and just a lot of time spent behind the wheel of the car. Yeah.
So we've now entered into, old folks from the Bay Area will remember Baylands Dragway, Baylands Speedway. Oh. We'll demo some of the exhaust sounds. This isn't going to really be anything for quarter mile, but I think the RS5 will have some stuff for you, so we can hop into there and you can get to experience what that feels like.
Okay, this is going to be cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
How far behind do you think they are?
Oh, I think we just.
Pretty okay. Yeah. I was like, you know what? This is a point at where he could just leave and I would have to figure out how to get home.
I mean, there are worse places you can hang out with the cows over there.
Exactly. Stops too.
It does stop.
Gosh. So, all right, we have entered the.
Not launching the dirt.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Good point. We've entered the RS5 and gonna do a launch here. Absolutely. See if I can hang on to my phone. Oh God. Woo! just hits so hard.
The ZF8 is incredible with how
man.
fast it's able to shift.
I mean, I felt it with Jeremy's S5, but man.
Catches you off guard sometimes. Yeah, honestly. I might need to let you get out a little bit.
Oh, you want to?
Yeah.
Do you think this will do a standing launch?
It won't launch, you just roll into it. It does not have launch control. That needs to be added.
Electronic does.
That one does not. Maybe the previous owner launched it enough times that it doesn't.
Oh. Is that launch count limit or?
Potentially. So we're gonna let him go a little before us. We'll chase him down. How about
Holy
that?
cow.
Are you giving me the hit?
Oh yeah, you get the hit.
All right.
Damn.
Not catching him as fast as I thought we would.
Well.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I weigh 200-ish pounds, so.
I guess I gotta go back on a diet. Shoot. Well, I think we might be more even for just a straight side by side.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
That was pretty awesome.
You've got to be the guy.
I got to be the
Count us
guy.
down.
Oh, I know.
No, he's gonna count us down.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
It's me?
like a big YouTuber.
All right, this is my first time doing this.
Well,
all right,
time for everything.
I'm a pretty normal counter. So,
Go on, go?
or do we do 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3?
What are we doing?
We're going 3, 2, 1, go.
Hit on one.
Hit on one. Hit on one.
Hit on one?
Hit on one.
3, 2, 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. Yeah, exactly. So as much as I really love the R8, this is pretty darn fast and pretty comfortable at the same time.
It's pretty nice. You know, you kick on the back massager and all of a sudden it's not a bad place to be.
I know.
I put
The back massager. I was telling Nick that while I love the R8, the noises and everything that the R8 does, it's cool. But this is so fast and comfortable all at the same time. It's hard to choose, if you had to choose one or the other. I mean, I guess for having the back seats.
Having back seats, massage seats.
Massage seats, yeah.
Having a sunroof, having CarPlay natively is a big one.
Yeah, the age of that car, I guess, is showing in a couple different ways, but damn, it's still fun.
All right, so I'm here with Nick. We are now sitting in the R8 just after watching the RS5 and the R8 sort of do a little bit of playtime and see who could take the launch from a dig. And needless to say, the RS5 won. But I think it's worth mentioning that these are two completely different types of vehicles. And while we're getting supercar performance out of an RS5, there is something to be said for what you get out of an R8. It's not all about speed. Nick, what do you think about the difference in the way you guys approach development and the tunes for these cars, or what products you use to modify the two different platforms?
Absolutely. So from the beginning of it, the comparison of a mid-engined supercar space frame style chassis to a conventional front engine all-wheel drive Audi requires a significantly different approach for development. Out of the box, these cars handle completely differently, and the baseline that it creates means that you need to then adjust how you're then adjusting the modifications. So for us, what we aim to do with any car that we're developing with the Dynamic Plus way is make it handle and drive and feel and perform like it had came from the factory that way, but more. Enhance and elevate and transform the experience in a heightened way without losing that sense of quality, that sense of refinement and overall usability. So the areas that the R8 needed refinement and adjustment are vastly different than what the RS5 required for changes.
I don't have a key, just so you know.
Okay, well, we're not stopping anywhere. That's perfect.
All right. Well,
See? That's a perfect example. This still has a key that goes in the center or the steering column. That's a wireless key. So yeah, you know, out of the box, the RS5 was very comfortable, very heavy. It rolled a lot and understeered very aggressively, and had a lot of opportunity for the turbochargers to be maximized for better performance from the engine. This, on the other hand, being a naturally aspirated V8, there isn't as much as you can do in the tuning without forced induction.
Right.
But already had a much better platform for handling. However, it still was understeered by us.
Sure.
The RS5 needed brake upgrade badly.
Yeah.
Those
I
brakes
can
fade
attest
out
to that.
quickly.
Yeah.
Right. This, on the other hand, the braking system that it comes with from the factory was very substantial. And
Sure.
very good. So we added minor updates and adjustments to make it usable and repeatedly on a track setup. So when we first took this car out to the track, we've had it out to the track 7 different times now, iterating on different suspension components and testing different components, dialing in and observing where it's falling short, and trying to figure out what handling dynamic we're looking for.
Sure.
Report that to the engineers, and then they create the next product to help adjust that. So in this car, we're running our custom set of lowering springs, as well as custom front and rear adjustable sway bars.
Nice.
So we've spent a lot of time developing those two together to make sure that they're pairing properly for the right mix of understeer, oversteer, and neutrality as you want from a driver. So those sway bars are adjustable, so you can dial in what you prefer. Do you prefer a little more oversteer on exit? Do you prefer more understeer on exit? What's your comfortability? We're going to provide that for you.
And you can feel the difference. Like the for lack of a better term, the amount of specialness that you feel sitting in a car where you've got an engine right behind your head in the cockpit. Your butt feels like it's 2 inches off of the ground, and just the overall presence that the car feels like it has in handling it gives you a sense of the different type of driving that you want to engage in something like this. Like, this would be great on Highway 17, which we took over here, or some of the other really nice roads that we have, back roads in California, and enjoying the twists and turns, or even getting it out on a road course. And not that the RS5 isn't, but it's a much more comfortable cruising type car that has the ability to hang with something like this to a degree. I think if you were really pushing them and you had drivers that knew what they were doing, you know, obviously from a handling perspective, this would outclass the RS5. But if you're looking at like straight line type performance and everything, you know, the RS5 really makes up for it.
And that's not to knock the RS5 either. For what it is, it's incredible at its handling. The sport differentials, the DRC struts, which are hydraulically cross-linked across the chassis. It is an amazingly well-handling vehicle, and the add-ons that we add to that really do help that.
Yeah.
We had both of these out at the track on Friday at Thunderhill, and just being able to see them out at the track same time, side by side, and be able to hop in one and switch between cars and get that difference in feeling. Both are incredibly fast and you know, precise in their way of handling.
Right.
The way you enter a corner in the RS5 is going to be vastly different than the way you enter in an R8.
Well, and I think like anything else, we do all these tune comparisons, we do all of these, you know, reviews and stuff. But when we're talking about the differences in some of these things, it's not perceptible unless you're trying one after the other, or unless you're like really, really pushing the car to a degree that most people aren't.
Exactly.
You know, literally like in a track situation that you're going through over and over and testing different incremental changes to the vehicle and the setup. So it's really cool. I think like as fun as I would have in an R8 on a track, and as amazing as it like feels in here, like I've gotten really comfortable with the S5 or the RS5 platform, and I think I was really impressed with the way that Sean was, you know, able to get a little bit of oversteer and really kind of handle and manage it, and it just feels like what you've done with the suspension upgrades makes it feel predictable, which is an amazing feat in that car.
Absolutely, and you know, that car certainly did not bias towards oversteer very easily. This car, much easier to oversteer. You know, from a base level, this is a very well modified car. It's a supercar, the Audi R8.
Yeah.
From the factory, it's an amazing vehicle, and there isn't as much, you know, meat left on the table like you would find in an S5 or RS5, where there's a little more neutered for daily usability.
Sure.
So we had to be really precise with our modifications here to still extract performance, but not make it worse than what it was.
Right.
Not so twitchy or understeery or oversteery that the average user wouldn't enjoy driving it. So dialed this in phenomenally. I'm certainly no race car driver. I drive around on track and like to pretend like I'm quick, but I'm not all that fast. Our racing drivers and our engineers who compete in racing series for the last 20 or so years are all extremely skilled in being able to feel out those finite adjustments and exact the best performance out of the car. But I myself, as a relative novice, can still hold my own and have a good time and feel comfortable and happy in the car while giving it some speed.
And increase your safety on the track day and increase your ability to perform and keep up with the other people and their shiny toys.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Nice.
I don't know.
No, that was not a glitch that you just saw. That was all the outro that we recorded while we were saying bye to Nick and Sean and thanking them for spending a bunch of time with us. The time that we spent with them was not just a bunch of fun and games like I showed here of racing around in cars. We really got to know what 034 Motorsport is about, got to see their office, meet a bunch of people, and go through their warehouse. And I think that as a partner, that's the best thing that we could have hoped for, and really getting to know what they're about. And so make sure to tune in for more episodes. There will be more features on 034 Motorsport product. Personally, I know specifically for the Golf R. So thank you. I love you.